Welcome to another edition of Brownie Bites here on YouTube. I'm Darryl Whiter coming to you from Cross Country Mortgage Campus, where Thursday's practice is in the books for the Browns as their preparations continue for Sunday's Week 2 matchup in Baltimore against the Ravens. Everybody was on the practice field Thursday, including rookie running back Quinshon Judkins. It was his first with the team since June. Still unclear what role, if any, he's going to have this week after he spent Wednesday in New York meeting with league officials concerning their investigation into a potential personal conduct policy violation stemming from his arrest, but officials declining to charge him over the summer. Here's offensive coordinator Tommy Rees on Judkins and the anemic run game in Week 1 that struggled to scratch out 2 yards per carry in that loss to the Bengals.
Yeah, I think, we are around these guys, a good chunk. So you have opportunities to find ways to get install. Obviously for Q, we'll take it day by day to see how he continues to progress in practice. It takes some extra work to make sure that we can catch him up after a Wednesday practice. But, Thursdays and Fridays are really pivotal days throughout the week. So finding ways to make sure that we get him the proper work to give him an opportunity moving forward. Definitely there's a good starting ground for him. When you get into the stream of a season, the one positive is you're not trying to digest, 7 or 8 installs like you would in training camp. You have a finite number of plays, within a game plan. There will be carryover in terms of the terminology that so for him, it's really focused on, all right, we have a new playbook for this week's opponent. Let's try to master that instead of saying, all right, well, here's our 7 installs at training camp. That's a little bit more daunting than one game plan. We got to see how he progresses, right? I mean, there's the physical part of it. There's the player's health part of it. There's the mental part of it. I mean, there's so many different aspects when you're looking to prepare a guy. We have a lot of trust in all the different facets of our organization that will help get him there. And, we'll just monitor as it goes this week. And, hopefully it reaps good benefit. But, we'll take it one day at a time and see where it goes. Missed opportunities in the run game for sure. We need to be able to take advantage of if teams, play us a certain style to take advantage of looks that are advantageous. We need all 11 in the run game. The quarterback's making sure we're in the right IDs, the backs making sure we're on the right tracks, the line working the right combinations. Like, it is such a nuanced part of offensive football that, we just got to continue to coach our tails off on the details of it to make sure that our guys are understanding where we're going. But they're definitely frustrating to have some misses there and need that balance to make sure that we can, sustain drives and sustain series.
The other issue from last Sunday's loss to Cincinnati was kicker Andre Szmyt going wide right on a PAT as well as extra point. Now the Browns have backed Szmyt all week. Here's special teams coordinator Bubba Ventrone.
He's done a really good job since he's been here. From the end of last year on practice squad, from April all the way until this point. So we have a lot of confidence in him. Had a good practice yesterday. I have confidence that he's going to get it right. So it didn't go through the uprights is what went wrong.
See mechanically what you failed?
Yeah, I don't think he finished the kick that well. We've had good operations. I don't think that's an issue. The practices have been good. The pregame warm-up was good. I think that he's in a good headspace. I feel like he's confident. He's got a lot of confidence. He understands that he needs to deliver and make his kicks. When that stuff happens, you miss a kick that impacts a game like that. I mean, obviously we know how he feels, and what's the best thing to do? I mean, you're going to support the guy that you believe in. So I think that it's important that, he understands that we support him. And he also understands that we expect him to make his kicks. So I think that he's done everything in his power in the last 4 days to put it to bed, get back to work, and get the results we want.
The big storyline this week, aside from Joe Flacco's return to Baltimore for the first time since they traded him back in 2018, is the fact that the Ravens are celebrating their 30th anniversary. Now, defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, he was here in Cleveland and with the Browns, moved with the franchise to Baltimore in 1996. Schwartz, though, not taking a lot of time to get his guys fired up over a celebration. Instead, he's investing his time in the meeting rooms, getting them ready to find a way to start faster in the ballgame on his side of the ball and, of course, contain Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry.
That's not going to matter to anybody on the field. It's not going to matter to our team or their team. People celebrate different things, and different timing and everything else. But we'll keep the focus on the field and the players that are actually going to be playing, not ghosts from 30 years ago. I thought we left a lot of plays. Like we certainly weren't happy with the first drive of the game. We keep track of, like, not only, different stats in the game, but whether you won a snap or lost a snap. A lot of different things go into it. But of those 14 snaps, we only won like 2 of the first 14. After that, we played really, really well, but it doesn't erase that first drive. So we need to get off to a faster start, and I think that's probably the big thing. It did give a glimpse of what we can be, particularly the third and fourth quarter, but really started, I guess, the last drive of the first half. They had 20-some seconds left, a couple timeouts. See a lot of times around the league now because of these kicks, people get in field goal position. I thought we came out to play there, and it carried over to the second half. But, the carryover from last week, like I said, different players, different schemes, everything there. For us to play well, we're going to have to limit their run game. They're the best run team in the NFL, and that's Derrick Henry, but also Lamar Jackson with the scrambles and design quarterback runs, which everybody sees a lot of. We're going to have to do a good job on his scrambles. Like I say, we're going to have to tackle some of their playmakers, particularly Zay Flowers. They get him the ball a lot of different ways. If we do those things, regardless of what happened last week, if we do those things, we'll set ourselves up for success on Sunday. He's been at the top of his game for a few years now. I think everybody, does some things a little bit better as they get older and things like that. But I think most of the improvements he had came early in his career, and now he's just, playing consistently. Doesn't turn the ball over very much. Uses his legs when he has to. He's been, and this was probably about 3 years ago or so, he got significantly better versus the blitz. That used to be something that people could do to take his legs away, make him throw quicker than he wanted to. He's a really good deep ball thrower. Saw that last week in Buffalo. That ball to Hopkins right there. We have a lot of respect for him. We know we're going to have to play our very best when he's out there. But, I don't think what we're seeing from him is a recent development. It's been a few years coming, and hats off to him for the improvements that he's made, particularly early in his career.
You have to give it to the Browns. They are a confident bunch heading into this ball game. Receiver Jerry Jeudy said on Wednesday Baltimore's secondary was, quote, no challenge, unquote. Thursday it was Grant Delpit's turn. He was asked about the 11.5-point spread and trying to tackle Derrick Henry. Here's what Delpit had to say about both.
Think about the fact that you guys are 11.5-point underdogs going into this ball game.
Whoop-dee-doo. No, they either got to run the ball or pass the ball, so that's their 2 best players on offense.
How hard is he to bring down?
Not hard.
That'll do it for this edition of Brownie Bites. Once again, thank you as always for watching, and a reminder, make sure you subscribe to the 92.3 The Fan channel here on YouTube. With the Browns in Berea, I'm Darrell Ryder for Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.